Is this peaceful parenting thing a total sham? Should I be yelling at my kids? Is there something wrong with my kid? Am I doing the right thing? Is my kid just supposed to do what I tell them to do right away? Hello everyone, this is Rebecca Lyddon, and I'm feeling very inspired to share a story with you today that I got to witness in one of our cohort meetings in our parent coach certification program. When our students go through the program, they are arriving in our space from a variety of directions, and each person coming here is in a very valid beginning in some way or the other, meaning they are coming here and they maybe have already read all of the parenting books. They've taken parenting courses. Some people already are coaching parents, or some people arrive in this space as a therapist or a educator or someone working in the realm of childcare. And then we have people coming in this space who are stay-at-home parents. They don't have a educational background in child development, brain science, psychology, and they're coming here fresh and learning all of these skills and tools for the first time. And I think that that's beautiful. The diversity of where everyone is at and how we meet each other where we are at is so fun. And it's such an ecstatic process where there are very, very high highs, where for the first time as a parent, you're able to really feel your heart and really hear it speak and connect with its messages and believe in your bones that facilitating a transition with your child with communication and consideration, play, patience, a belief that it's all good, we got this. I'm really here to teach my child that collaboration is the way forward in any relationship, and graciousness and trust. And we are slowly letting go of this fear, control-based way of facilitating our children. You know, I said to do XYZ, and I mean now, I mean right now, and I have no space or skill to navigate anything other than what I want when I want it. It sounds very much like a toddler, doesn't it? And so we're doing this parenting work to raise adults who are able to access a lot more skill and space than a toddler. And I say this without judgment because I find myself here too at times. However, a sense of humor is important in this work. And when we are beginning to connect with that intuition and that gut knowing that, of course, this is how I raise a child. Of course, this just feels right. This is how I would want to be treated. This is how I would want to be showing up in any of my relationships. And then there is real life. You know, I'm my best parent when I'm alone and no one's watching me. I like to joke that there is a parenting police hovering over our shoulder. We're in the Truman Show and they're watching every single move we're making, and they're marking us down and they're grading us and they're deciding whether or not we get that gold sticker on the chart today or not. And we are ruled and controlled by this subconscious programming based in shame and a lack of space and skill to tend to our deeper and more complex needs. So when we try and parent from this security and this confidence and this knowing in front of people who are not in that same space as we are in that moment, they don't have a lot of experience or support or solidarity or community around facilitating children with empathy and patience and space and creativity and respect. And they may be very concerned about the way that you are parenting, where I'm concerned when I'm witnessing at the playground or at the grocery store a parent who is yelling and demeaning their children. I'm very concerned when I hear parents threaten to hit their child who is 3 years old because they're not listening. That's where my red flags come up and my defenses come up, and I work on melting and relating. And the inverse is true for many people when they see a parent modeling warmth and compassion and emotional intelligence and sophisticated conflict resolution, their flags may raise, their defenses sharpen. They want to get out their sword and even protect that child from a life of doom, a life of dependency and coddling and spoiled and entitlement. And I'm just going to flip that switch again, take us back a couple of minutes ago when I shared with you that the consequence of being raised in this path of control and manipulation and shame and threat, it decreases our brain's capability to access clear communication, skill building, conflict resolution in times of stress. So our fear about arriving with empathy and compassion and attunement and communication, that it's creating spoiled, entitled children, is the opposite of what we are seeing. And I find that really exciting. Okay, coming back to the point here, which is the flags raised for parents who feel afraid that these children are being parented with warmth and compassion and communication. And they want to step in and they want to fix the problem and they want to solve it. And I was speaking with a student, I was witnessing their process today where hearing feedback from family in-laws, and their feedback was, you told your daughter X, why isn't she doing it? Like, what? Why isn't the kid doing exactly what you told them to do right when they told you to do it? That's so very much out of our realm of experience. And how that parent felt this burning insecurity and this lack of clarity and almost like a grasping and a desperation and a churning, which is, am I doing the right thing? Is there something wrong with my kid? Is this peaceful parenting thing a total sham? Should I be yelling at my kids? Is my kid just supposed to do what I tell them to do right away? And their wheels start spinning and they start to lose their feet, which is a part of this. It's just a part of this dance. And what I love, one of my favorite sessions to witness in coaches and students or clients is when a parent has arrived in that intuition and clarity, however, they're losing faith based off of the experiences that they've had that week. So I call these recommitment calls. And it really is returning to the why behind your intention of doing this work. Why are you here? Why are you navigating and choosing to respond to your child with, you're not ready to take the bath right now, honey? Okay, well, help me understand. What are you working on? I'm feeling nervous that if we don't get the bath started within the next 10 minutes, we won't have space for books tonight. And I know how much you love the books. So I really feel inspired to support us to get into the bath within 10 minutes. How does that sound? And go from there. It might not work like magic, but we've got the tools to authentically relate and to be real humans together in a family system. And this parent ultimately left the session realizing, oh, my insecurity and my doubt was not about whether or not the tools and skills that I harness in any given moment are right or what I believe. Actually, my insecurity and doubt was stemming from my lack of safety in accessing my voice and accessing my boundaries, even to be able to say, hey, thanks for your concern. I know this looks a little bit crazy right now. However, I got this. Like, I'm good. You guys, you can go on with your evening. I don't need any help right now. And I've always been this way. I've always been very clear about what I want and what I don't want. And I love that about myself. And it's taken some reclaiming, because that is typically a quality, especially within a girl child, that is shut down. But, we can still be very respectful and considerate and loving and appreciative of the people who really do care about us and our kids. They just don't understand our actions. And what really matters is that you understand your actions. You're in clarity. You're in confidence. You're in assertiveness in a peaceful way. And then you're willing to have the hard conversations with the people that really matter. And if you're spending time around someone and you and your child are spending time around someone, I'm hoping that communication is a part of that dynamic. And I understand that for some people, it's not. a safe space. It's not an exchange that is willing to be had on both sides. So I get that there are many barriers to this, and that's not true for every person. And if that person is you right now, where there's insecurity about the feedback or the perception of judgment you're getting from family members or friends, what would it be like for you to simply engage a conversation and say, I really care about you and I love being around you. You support me, you appreciate me, you help us out very practically, you babysit, fill in the blank. And also, I'm noticing that I feel a little nervous parenting the way that I do around you. Could you help me understand? My fear is that you perceive me as permissive, or you perceive me as being walked over, and it doesn't feel good for me. Could you share with me a little bit about your side of things and get the ball rolling? It's terrifying. I get it. I have terrifying conversations every day and I love it. And you can get to that place too. It's a muscle and we practice it, and we understand the why behind why we're having hard conversations, and we take a baby step. So my invitation for you is to reflect on where you're at in this process. Are you in inner security and confidence in why you're parenting in the way that you do? If not, why not? What would it take for you to get there? 2, if you are in a place of security, do you find yourself either getting bigger, like I know what I'm doing and I'm so confident and I've read 1,000 million books, and kind of overpowering the perception of judgment or the people's voices or opinions of your parenting? Or are you submitting into that moment and getting very insecure and doubtful and thinking, well, maybe I should just do what they think I should do. I shouldn't actually do what I think that I should do, which is a little bit of a problem, isn't it? We're going to take that and spread that into our other relationships. So step 3, invitation is, depending on the first 2 questions, what's your baby step? What action step can you take right now, today? What conversation can you initiate? How can you engage in transparency and share your feelings with someone without it being if I share my feedback, if I share my feelings with them, then death and destruction. How can we see what else is true? So lots of love to you all, parents. We are doing the work, and it is exciting, exhilarating, exhausting, other E words that I can't think of right now. And take care. Lots of love. Bye for now.